them incredible tiny homes. Oh yeah, we're ready to go. Listen, isn't that what Elvis used to do? Hey, welcome to Incredible Tiny Homes Factory Warehouse, where tonight I have the privilege of interviewing 3 or 4 guests. Can't tell if it's 3 or 4 yet, unless one of them's going to run off, right? And I want to tell you guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in on the greatest show Saturday night, east of the Mississippi, west of the Mississippi, and north of the Cumberland Gap. Thank you. I am the interviewer tonight. My name is Johnny Larson, and I've got a couple of good guys. We're going to talk about tiny homes tonight. We're going to talk about tiny homes, how they were taking over the country. You all have seen the bad weather that's hit Houston, the bad weather that hit Florida. And we want to talk about people that has taken their lives and switched them and turned them in all kinds of different directions, right? And the biggest thing that I've been crisscrossing the country far and wide and to and fro, and I've been noticing the biggest thing that I've seen is that they get the word freedom. It's always the word freedom. It always comes. I was cruising on up here from my path in the city, and I had to come down here in this godforsaken place in this nasty old warehouse and talk to Mr. Jones and his crew, and I noticed that everywhere I went, I noticed that it was just freedom. It was just a freedom, freedom, freedom. And I don't know why that kept coming in my head. And then it come in my head, and I'm thinking, freedom. Well, that's what Old Tiny Homes is about. And then I walked in here, and I got to talk to a couple of people today, and as I thought about it more, I talked to a gentleman over here, and he said he wanted to sell his big fine home because his kids were gone, and he wanted to live in a tiny house and not have a mortgage. And he was at where am I at again? Oh yeah, Incredible Tiny Homes. And he said 4901 Inca Highway. He said that because he started his houses out at $25,000, that he could afford a home. And he bumped it up to about 30. He said he got about a 22 or 24 footer, whatever. And he's even coming here to build. And that's what these are. I talked to them guys today, and they said that's what these are here. They got 3 ladies coming here building their own houses in 6 days. Whew. I thought, oh my God, there's got to be freedom, 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 freedom. Just like when I was watching Braveheart, and he was sitting there, and what was it? He was laying right here, and that big dude, that big old black thing on his head was coming down, and Mel Gibson was laying there. Wait a minute, his head was hanging here. Like he's hanging here, and he was getting ready to gut him bad. And he goes, and they said, come on, cry out, say it, say it, say it. Braveheart, his name was William Wallace. And he says, say it. Oh yeah, and then King Longshank was up there in his deathbed, right? Because he hated William Wallace. What did he represent? What did he say? He said, freedom. And then Mr. Longshank said, and it killed him, right? Well, what did that represent? It represented the big guy, the government, right? And William Wallace, you couldn't kill him because he said freedom. He wanted freedom for all his countrymen. All of his countrymen. So, I was interviewing Mr. Jones and some of the guys, and I met 2 or 3 people living over in and he's got this street sign now over there. So it says Highland Way, because of the descendants in this area are from Scottish and Irish and English background history. And then the other one, believe it or not, the other street coming out is called Kuokua. Oh my God, Kuokua in the Highlands. You got Scotland and you got Hawaiian. And the Kuokua means freedom. And it's Freedom Way. And it takes you out. Isn't that cool? So I started thinking, more and more freedom, freedom, freedom. All right, on with our guests. As you know, we have a couple trivia that I've learned as an interviewer, that this tiny home that I have the privilege to look into before I come here and get educated. We do have several people living in here, so one just went to bed. All right, so I got to keep it down a little bit. Oh, look here. Don't get her on there. Happy birthday. We got another one. How are you? No. Shh, don't see her. So we have people coming and going all the time. Right. What was that? Hey, and what we've noticed is that people are changing their lives. Jim, James, she can't get in the door. Let me help her. I'll get it. Watch. I've learned to live around here. It's pretty good. Okay, we're clear. And Jim from Jersey, right? Went in from Philly, flew down here. Jim brought his little dog. Hey, Jim, I don't know if you're going back home Sunday. He was here. He come all the way down to see the factory and talk to everybody. I got to see him as he was leaving. I was coming in there and interview everybody here before I did. He came here. They got 2 girls that came early for the workshop. We got Heidi that's been here for a while. You got Penny is also building her house. And that's what these 3 workshops are. Miss Cook will be coming, I guess, tomorrow, he said. So anyway, as I was interviewing everybody, got to interview the workers, got to interview people that work here and in the industry. And it was so educational to be able to see why people, or there was a guest come in here, and it was a young couple, and I got to meet them today, and she said, I've been wanting to come and check tiny house, never been in one. Her tall, dark, handsome man said, darling, I don't like tiny homes, and I don't want nothing to do with tiny homes. You understand me? So she said,
oh, honey, it's okay. All you have to do is walk around the houses and check them out. You're about laughing.
And then Mr. Randy Jones said, yeah, man, it's all right. Just go and look around. He said, you know, they're probably a little bit different than what you see on TV. So they walked around and stuff, and I didn't see them. All I heard is that one little introduction. And when they were leaving, they grabbed a hold of Randy Jones, the big, tall guy. Well, Randy, all I can say now is I want a home. I want a tiny home is what I want. Yeah, I never thought they'd be that big. And they were. Oh, Randy, thank you so much. Yeah. We want a tiny home. And so they got a tiny home. So they're going to come back and design their tiny home, and they're going to come and build one in the workshop. Isn't that cool? Now, that's what they come here. And I said, you know what? He wanted it wider. I heard him say, he says, well, you know what? They got to be 8'6". No, Randy said, no. You can make it 9, 9.5, 10, 10.5, 11. He was just going on and on. One guy even said, can I make it 50 foot long? Randy said, you can make it as big as you want. He said, you could go 80 if you want, but if we can get out that door right there. He said he could bust the concrete out that door and get it out the door. Anyway, the perspective that he said, that there was just anything he could build, and he get it engineered. He said some engineer or something. Anyway, wow, what I've been educated today. Oh, and then he even delivered one that I got to see on Facebook tonight earlier. A girl come from San Diego. Roma was her name, I think. She come in there, and they're down at the community, and then I seen the lights were on and stuff, so she's all tucked in there. I think she went to Walmart and that stuff, so she came all the way from San Diego living here. So, all right, enough talking. On with my first guest. All right, as you'll see, I will talk to my first guest, and this person lives in a tiny house. All right, we're going to see what they love about tiny homes, why they chose a tiny home, and what's going on with their tiny home, okay? All right, be right back. Commercial break. What's up, man? What's up? Yeah. What's up, Johnny? Hey, thanks for having me tonight, Johnny. Yeah. I tell you what. I just got enrolled over there to the Tennessee, University of Tennessee, over here in Knoxville. Yeah, and you know, my mom says if I don't graduate, I can't come back home, you know, and my papa, my grandpa, my granddaddy, somebody in my family, they said if I go to college, you know, I get $20,000 as a family thing. They've been saving up since I was a boy, and I got 20 grand. So I looked on the internet and I said, Johnny, I said, my God, I can go over here to this university and I can build a house for $18,000. $18,000. So I called my brothers. I said, hey, man, we got to come over here to Incredible Tiny Homes in Morristown, and we're going to build a house for $18,000. Can you believe that? I'm going to have a house. Now, I got to find a place to put it. man, that's never got, I can just about put that anywhere. I mean, somebody's backyard, somebody's garage, something like that. If I got to, I'll put camouflage all over it. I won't even burn the lights out at night. But I got a place that I can put it. So I've been on Craigslist trying to find me a place. I talk to a girl, she goes in Craigslist everywhere she goes, she tries to get a place, put it in the backyard. And there's some places you can't get it. But you know what? I thought that was really cool. I mean, I just got out of, I just got out of school and I'm heading to college. And I do have to say, when I was a boy growing up, it was, I didn't think of stuff. Of course you don't think of stuff, you're a kid, And I was thinking, man, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And how am I going to, the world looks so scary. It's like, God, I got friends going in the military. They know where they're going. I got friends going to college. They know what they're doing. I'm going to college because if I don't go, I won't make my folks happy. And this money that they put away for me since I was born, it's like a little fun, and I get it. And they said I could get this tiny home because it makes sense. Because they said that tiny homes are like 50 grand, and you come to Incredible and build it, and it's 18,000. So they already got, what is it, word, equity? Whatever that is, built in it. Something like if I ever want to sell it in 3 or 4 years, I get my money back. So it's not like you're going to lose any money. It's not like what Dad said. Oh yeah, Dad said he bought it. Every time he buys a brand new car, he pulls it off the lot, he loses 20. He'll 10 grand. I was like, yeah, right, Dad. Just get it and drive it. I love it, man. Drive's easy. But something about he talks about losing money. How do you lose money in a car? You just drive it. He said somebody, you drive it off the lot, and it's not even worth what you paid. Then he said something like these. You drive it off a lot and it doesn't go down, and anyway, I'll get my 20 back. So, Johnny, thanks for inviting me over here tonight. I know I'm the only guest. I don't think the other 2 guests showed up, but they may be coming in. But I wanted to tell you that I think this is a great college objective. What am I trying to say, man? I don't have a good vocabulary. Because I didn't listen to nothing. All I did was party and hang out, and that's what I plan on doing anyway. But I got me a house. So I'm going to park it. I can't stay anywhere my first year. I got to stay in the dorms. But the second, third, and fourth year, I got a house that me and my brothers can stay in, right? And then afterwards, I'm booking. When I graduate, I don't care what kind of degree you get, I'm booking to the West Coast. And I'm going there, and I'm going to have some freedom. I don't have to go into the basement. All right, Johnny? So, Johnny, it's good knowing you. I hear my brother's calling me. I gotta go, and I'm gonna probably go get me a beer down the road here. And it was good seeing you. Thanks for everything. I'll be back. Bye. Hey, oh, look here. Look. We're a little short-handed tonight, so what we got to do is, look here, everybody's on vacation tonight. Tom's gone, all the guys are gone, had left me here alone, and I had to rig up my own lights. Our next guest, but before I go on, you know what? When I was a boy, I remember, and this has struck so much in my mind now. I was thinking that Randy was talking to me earlier today, and he said, what is it about these tiny homes? What is it about it? And I said, I don't know. I think it's more than just living. I've been really fascinated as an interviewer to come here and see these people. And there's 2 other guests we got to meet tonight. But it was fascinating to hear them. And one thing, like you said, that freedom word came up all the time. And the thing that I don't understand is, how do you come here and stay with strangers, right? And meet strangers that help in a common cause to build somebody's home. And I started thinking about it. Because my dad, he told me stories long ago, being raised poor like so many other people. Back years ago, it was poor, and they really never had a house of their own. They didn't have a house of their own until they were like up in their 40s, and having a house was a big deal. All right, so you can have a house now. You don't have to wait up and get approved by a loan for $80,000. You don't have to wait to get a $90,000. You don't have to get $60,000. You can come in here and get for a cheaper home, which gives you a place to reside. But what I heard was there was up in Virginia, right? They were talking to an inspector, and he said, "Hey, you cannot bring that house in this county," and a lot of counties are like this, unless he can see the walls and the plumbing and the wiring and all that kind of stuff, you know? And I was like, really? I mean, I'm in here, and they had a licensed electrician in here, you know, wiring this house. They got things like it's bolted down to the trailer. They got the rafters that are bolted to the walls. They got, like I said, a licensed electrician, a licensed plumber that's in here plumbing these things. I'm like, oh my God, it looks like a house that I built back in LA. And I'm looking, wow. And I got Penny's got 3/4-inch hardwood floors, spray foam in their ceilings and underneath their house. I was like, these things are homes, man. Heidi's over there, got all these special cabinets up there. Got a full bathroom, and she's gonna tote it around in her back of her truck. It's like amazing to me. So I'm like, all right, so these are full-blown houses that my folks could have had. Sure, it's really small. You know what? But I tell you what, from the stories my folks told me, they would have loved to have had just a starter house, the two of them, back when they got married. They would have loved to have had this place. They were so much in love, and it didn't matter if they're on top of each other, cooking, cleaning, talking, and going, you know? So, I don't know, it's just really struck a chord in me. I thought it was really cool. All right, next guest. I want to introduce you to my next guest. She, yes, that's right. She, right? What? Okay. She is from Iowa, okay? And she is from, everybody's looking at Iowa, and she has quite the story to tell y'all about her tiny house living, all right? So I'll be right back. We're going to do a rotation, and believe it or not, she will appear in this other seat. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Hey, everybody. Hey, how are you? How are you? Oh no, yeah, Johnny, yeah. I know Kiwi. I'm from right up there near. Well, I'm from Iowa originally. Then I went by. As funny story, I was in Seattle, and then I went up to Vancouver. And who did I see? This guy in the park, and he was walking his little dog. And I was like, oh my God, he looks so familiar. And sure enough, he come and talked to me, and I didn't get a word edgewise. I never spoke to him. Because when I sat down, he went and started talking so much. And his name is Kiwi. And I know he's been here. And I'd say, oh, can I say hi? Hi, Kiwi. Hi, Kiwi. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kiwi. You're a good friend. Even though I didn't say anything, but thank you very much. Okay, Johnny, you were asking the gentleman earlier about freedom. And I do have to tell you that, you know, when I was just a little girl back in the Midwest, you know, Midwesterners are just so staunch about how they look at life. I think a lot of them are from the Europe, directly descended from Yugoslavia. Some of them are from Scandinavia and stuff, you know, and they're pretty straight German, you know, and stuff, and they're pretty straight across the board about stuff. So I was raised in a home where, you know, all you did was, you know, they said, go to catechism, you know, you go to church, you take care, you know, you mind your elders, you know, you got straight stuff, none of this colored stuff. It was just black and, you know, well, I was raised where, you know, back in the 60s. So when it started coming in and I was thinking, oh my goodness, you know, this is not fitting my style, you know, the Midwest life. And even though I have got grandparents and everything, I went to California, yeah. And I learned to open up my mind, and I opened up other things, but I opened up my mind, and I thought, you know, I'm going to just be, you know, free-spirited. open up my mind. I meant like, there was some stuff out there, and I won't going to get into it. But I learned that, even though my parents and everybody back home was very, very, oh, don't look at my dress. This doesn't mean I'm poor. Okay, doesn't mean I'm poor. This is a disguise. I know everybody's going to say, oh, yeah, look at her. Well, you know what? No. I choose to live this way because now it's not my appearance that makes me happy. And it's not that I'm able to not be pretty. And I think I'm very pretty. Okay? But I'm free. That's right, Johnny. I'm free. I'm free again, just like that word. And tiny homes has given me the ability to be free. And free for once and all. And I'm so proud of my heritage in the Midwest, in the direct European descendant. You know what I'm proud about is it gave me the discipline to come here and build this tiny home when my back hurt and my knees hurt, and I knew I could stay focused. But then I enjoyed my younger years of learning how to be free-spirited and learned how to be free in everything in life and lay things down, to know that there's things inside of me that really I need to get to know. I need to get to know me. And that's a scary place sometimes, to go somewhere where you've never been before and to let yourself go and say, you know what? I'm going to do this. It's not going to hurt anybody. And it's against what I was being taught as a child, but it's not going to hurt me or anybody else, but I need to kind of challenge myself. And because of that, now I think I've got a good balance, Johnny. I got a good balance. So I've gotten into the tiny house. I've got one now. I got one here from Incredible Tiny Homes for $24,000, I think. And I got here and I worked and I got me a home. And I'm actually going to live in the community down the road for $200 a month. Yep. And I've met some of the finest people. But finally in my life, it's come full circle. I have finally got the freedom to feel comfortable. I love this old shirt. It reminds me of my grandfather back in Iowa. He was just a strong man. He was German descent, and he always wore flannels, and that's why he was really sweet to me. And that's why I wear this. And I let my hair go because I just think it's just feels good, finally, to not have to comb it every morning. And girls just hate fussing with their hair. But I love my hair. I'm glad I have it after I'm 65 and I've got hair still. It's a miracle. So I like it. So thank you, Johnny, for having me. That's my story. I have a little tiny house. It's 20 foot long, and I'm staying in the community. I am debt-free. I've paid off. I've worked hard most of my life. And this has given me an opportunity to go back into my younger years of being free and thinking free and growing food. And there's a crazy world out there. But it seems like the only things that's changed is people, because these roads are still been here for 50 years. They haven't changed. The trees are still here. The grass is still here. And the same clouds go round and round. The only thing that's changed is people. And really down deep, I think people are all the same. We're all still looking for freedom. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you for having me. And you have a good night, Johnny. Thank you so much. I got to get back to, my tiny house. Bye, Johnny. Ooh. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Ooh, what's that? Ooh. Hey, was that not an awesome guest? You're probably bored by now. I'm sorry so much. It's hard to bring the life with the audience without my music. I usually have an entourage. I usually have so much around me, but this is a solo tonight. But I think we're going to pull it off with the dynamic energy that's in that LED light. Hey, you know what? Lou, how are you, Lou? Lou come by the office. Randy was telling me about Lou, and I thought, oh my God, I wish I could meet Lou. Lou, thank you. He's 85 years old and wants a tiny house. I'd love to meet Lou. Lou, Randy told me all about you. Hope you're watching, Lou. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, our next guest. I want to get real quick to our next guest. You're never going to believe him. All right, he is a hoot. All right, you got to meet this guy. He's been around a long time, and you would never think he would ever be in a tiny house. All right? So, let's get started. Oh, it's so stupid. This show is so dumb. Yeah, it's so ignorant. I don't know why Randy does stuff like this. He's so stupid. I turned him off a long time ago. I don't want anything to do with this show anymore. Yeah, he's so stupid. He should be like somewhere else relaxing and staying off the airways. Hey. Whoa, look here, look here, look here. Oh yeah, hey, my name is Garth Ooks. Garth Ooks. What, Lissa? Oh my God. You know, I met Lissa coming in here. Hey everybody, I guess you see me on tour. My name is Garth Ooks. Yeah, and you know, that's my, look here, look. Look at my wife does all the singing now. I'm too fat, I can't sing anymore. Yep, and I gave all my money to charity, so now I've got to get me a tiny house here. Yeah, look here, Dusty, yep. Johnny, thank you for having me. Been on tour for the last 2 years trying to renounce my career and bring everybody back into the, I used to do a zip line across the crowd and everything, but I don't do that anymore because I'm too fat and I can't hang on to my, like, I got little bitty fingers. My little fingers won't grab nothing like that. But anyway, tiny houses. Oh yeah, I don't know what the craze is all about tiny houses, but yeah. Whew, God, my breath. Whew, I gotta quit eating them Cheetos. You know, I made so much money, I don't think about eating anymore. You know, it's like, God, I can eat anything I want. I let my body get away from me. So you know what I did? I thought, you know, I told the wife, I said, wife, listen, kids are grown. I stopped my career to let my kids grow up, you know, and I'm like, we got to get out of this big house, right? But I don't want anything to do with a small house. She said, you got to get your mind wrapped around getting little, all right, get small, because this is where we're headed. You're going to give all our money away, and now we got to live small. Got to tell you a story, Johnny. Got to tell you a story. All right. When I was a boy, you know, I'd seen country music, loved it all my life. But when I was a boy, my daddy used to drink a lot. All right. And my mama used to get mad at him drinking. But dad never was mean. He never was mean to me, you know, but he drank a lot. So when I'd come home, he'd be, you know, had a few, and mom's in the house slamming the door, slamming. Oh man, I know what's going on. So that would be Saturday night. And Sunday morning, I mean, I was just a little dude. I was about, I don't know, 7 or 8, all right? And I was like, man, you know, I remember this preacher, and I was just raised. Now, I am not an advocate for any kind of religion, faux, whatever. It's just about my life and how I was. But where I was, my folks are from the South, you know. In the South here, people go to church. And so I was raised up going to church. My folks never went. But this particular Sunday, my mom took me to church. Usually the preacher come and got me, honked on the horn, and I ran outside and got in his car. But this time my mom come, my dad, you know, he's in bed. He'd been, you know, drinking that night before. And my dad never was mean to me, loved me with everything he had. And then Mom and I, we're in the church, and I remember where the church down here in the South, when you go to church, what happens is, you go to church, you hear about God, and then you talk about Jesus, and then you got to get your soul right, right? And so to get your soul right, you got to get up, raise your hand, you go down to the front, you get on your hands and knees, you ask God to help you. Well, I'd never done that, but I'd seen it done a bunch. So I said, you know what? This is my time. So I got up, went down front, and the guy asked me a couple questions about God and me, and I said, yeah, I want to be, you know, I want to go to heaven and all them things. And I said, yeah. So I got back up, and, you know, it was cool. And I went back to my mom sitting there in church, and I said, Mom, I said, why are you crying? You know? And I said, Mom, why are you crying? And she looked down at me, she just shook her head, and I could smell the White Rain perfume, White Rain hairspray on her, and the, you know, the remains of cigarette smoke on her, you know, because that was what they did back then. She's crying, and she said, I said, Mom, why don't you go down and do what I just did? I feel better. And she shook her head, no, I can't. And I said, why? You know, there's people everywhere can't hear you talking. She said, I can't because your daddy your daddy makes me, not a nice person because when he drinks, I get mean, I get mad, and I lose my temper, and that's not the way you're supposed to be. I was like, man, I didn't understand it then, I didn't understand none of that. And so as I got older and I started writing country music, all them things started coming out, all them little memories about my folks and my dad. I remember asking my dad, I said, Dad, what do I do? I'm 18 years old. What do I do? And he goes, go get it. If you ain't got it, steal it and take it if you need it, And he said, don't work as hard as you'd have to because you're going to have to work the rest of your life. He said, just don't, And he was just like, man. And he would take a bullet for me, though. And I was like, how did all that work? So that's why my country music is a little twisted, because I just had a thought tonight, and I'm going to write this song for y'all. But I had a thought tonight. I've always been thinking that my dad raised me bad because of an example that he was not. Right? And then I thought my mom was wrong not to go to church because of my dad the way he was. Right? Well, come to find out, I owe both of them a lot. I owe both of them a lot. Even though, they lived the way they did, they loved me. They loved me. My dad never laid a hand on me, And so I don't have any fear of anything. I have never been beat. I've never had anything bad happen to me. And I was like, even though my dad may not give me the greatest advice, he gave me I think now tonight, I just had this thought walking in tonight in the studio. I thought, or this warehouse interviewing. Dad was the perfect example. He drank. He was belligerent. He was rude. He was selfish and all these things, but he loved me. Never laid a hand on me. And I was the king of wherever he went. But the one thing he did more than just that loving me, and my mom loved me too, was he was everything that I needed not to be. Isn't that something else? I thought about that today. He was everything I needed not to be. And what a great example. Great example he was, So I haven't been drunk, I haven't smoked or drank and none of that stuff. And it doesn't make me any better than anybody that has. But when I look back, I know my folks are proud of what they have, but I was always kind of mad that he wasn't the way my other buddies' dads were, But now I look back, he was better than all of them because he showed me an example of what I shouldn't be, And so it's just like the girl that was here earlier. She talked about coming full circle, and she's from Iowa, went to Seattle, knows Kiwi and all those guys, and went to California. You know what? There's something about this tiny home stuff. And I think this is the stuff that they're going to have at that jamboree, that Jam, Tennessee Jam they're having. This is the stuff that people, I think, are coming together about. It's more than just tiny homes. It's about life. It's about bringing the past in and about what you've been through and why you're where you're at. I think grabbing hold of these, sure, it's great financially, but it's also great to bond with people that have the same like-minded. I don't know if it's we're getting older or what. You got the young kids out here, and I love them, but it's really helping me because now that I've gotten rid of everything in my life, I've thrown it all out, got rid of everything, and I'm ready to move in these tiny houses, like that one right there. I'm going to build me one, me and the wife. And so, Johnny, I just wanted to tell you tonight, I don't know if I got off subject there a little bit, but I wanted to tell you tonight that, this is just an amazing movement that I think is going on. It's a little bit deeper than is. There's a lot of hurting people out there, and I appreciate you coming, having me on. I don't know if I got off track here or not, but thank you so much, and I'm going to be cutting that new album out. You guys make sure you listen to Garth. What was his last name? Ooks? Garth Ooks. Is that my name, Garth Ooks? But you're kidding. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Johnny. Hey, you have a good night. You got one more guest? I think he's been beating down the door. Okay, thank you, man. Thank you very much. Have a good night, Johnny. Have a good night. Oh, thank you for the hug, Johnny. Oh, my God, can you believe What in the world was that? What? I don't understand. You're supposed to have a show. And you know what? This is the next dude coming in. All right. Here we go. Look. Hey. God. Randy Jones. There's everybody here. Penny's looking at me. Everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm a stupid person. I put on a show that's stupid. Did you guys know that was all me? I was the guest. I was the speaker, and I was the guest too. Did you guys know that was all me? You know what? Everybody went home. I'm going. I know I'm not nervous. I got this cowlick. I got this stupid cowlick right here, and I think I'm going bald here in the back. I don't know. I can't see in the back until somebody films me. But I feel like I got a lot of hair. I don't know what it is. I'm just glad I can't see it. What happens? Everybody, I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something. This is God's given truth. I am 57 years old. Yeah. I don't feel 57. I don't know what's 57 supposed to feel like. I don't know. But I got a lot of problems. Okay? I am not a well person. Physically, I think I'm fine. But I'm just not right in the head. Right? I'm not right in the head. Hey, you need to hear me, boys. You're not right in the head. And you know what? I finally have accepted that I'm not right in the head. So if you're not right in the head, come here, because I think there's a lot of people not right in the head, and they come here and we feel good about each other. You know what I'm saying? That little story earlier by Garth Brooks, that was really a really close story that reminds me a little bit about my childhood when I was growing up. And I think that when I was a little guy, I remember I was in the back of a pickup truck, right? Why did I do this? We're in the back of a pickup truck. There's about 4 guys, and the sun was going down, and it was cold. It was about 45 degrees. And this other pickup truck pulls up behind us, and there was 4 or 5 people in it, and this girl. And this girl was freezing. I mean, she had no coat, she had a t-shirt on, and they were just getting it down the road. I don't know why. Man, I took off my sweatshirt, and another guy took off his, and we tossed it in the truck. And she took it, you know, and now we're freezing. But it felt so much better to give her my coat. I knew I was going to get a coat. You know, I knew I was going to get one back or something, but we gave it to her. And it felt good to do that, you know. It feels good to give to somebody that needs it. And we all need food. We all need groceries. We all need stuff, right? But we all need to help each other. We all need to love each other. And no matter what religion you're in, no matter what where you're from, I went to the Decatur show, and I met some really, really cool people. And it was really, and they called me today. What is it? I think it's Monique. Monique called me from Atlanta, and they've asked to know if I would be thinking about building a house in the inner city of Atlanta. And I said, yeah, we'll build it in 24 hours. And I'll show your crew, all your volunteers, how to build a house in 24 hours. And they're going to give it to some guy. How they're going to handle the politics of it, I don't know. Why am I doing that on top of everything that we got going here? I don't know. I just like doing it. It's kind of fun, you know. It's just a challenge to go down there. I ain't got nothing else to do, I guess. Yeah, but doing stuff like that is just cool. I was talking to Matt. Matt moved 3 houses down there to the community tonight, and we were talking about it. You know, and it's got to be your age, because when I was younger, I wanted a big house, or a house for my boys to be raised in, and I wanted a playroom, and I wanted a ball game. I mean, a barn we built. I did all that, but now I don't want a lot, you know, and I've accepted that I don't have certain things, and I'm not 6'2". I'm 5'8" in a good day, you know, 5'8", everybody. So, and as you can tell, I'm not, you know. I'm just an average dude. The only thing that I've got is I got this thing inside me, this little motor that's running like this. That little, can you see it? It's a little 1 cylinder. And it's not a nervous one because it runs on kerosene. It doesn't run on, it's like low octane, okay? So it just always is going. And it gives me the want to keep living, you know? So it wants me to keep moving. And that's the only edge I've got on this whole world, is that when most people get tired, believe me, I get tired, this little engine keeps moving, right? And that's when I want to do stuff, and I always want to. And God, Alyssa's getting tired. I'm going to go. She's breathing hard. You know what? So tonight, I wanted to show you that I am not. There's been some circles around that maybe, I don't know, I hope I don't come across it in a way that is bigger than what I am. I come across wanting to show you that, see, I get these crazy haircuts. Look, can you see? Look at that. Look at that. Somebody says, don't leave your hair like that, Randy. I'm going to leave my hair like this because you know what? I am like you all. I'm out here, I live in this bunk room, and I've made mistakes in my life. And I regret some things that I've made and people I've hurt. And then people are probably still hurting from the things that I've done in my life. And I can't go back and I can't change them. The only thing I can do is I can keep moving on. People may never watch this show, and I don't look at the comments. I just did a show because I promised you all a show tonight at 8 o'clock. And I do my best to do it. We were moving Roma. We got the 2 girls moved over there. We're busy. Worked 7 days a week for the last 3 weeks. I like doing this. I like moving it. But I wanted to come to you because I thank you so much for tuning in. And I think you like our tiny houses and what we do. And I come to you as a real person that makes mistakes, but won't stop until you're satisfied. Is the best I can do, you know. So I just wanted to let everybody know where I'm at. And tonight, if you're feeling, you know, and I'm not just preacher guy. I just feel stuff. I feel stuff all the time. And my guys here that, you know, I've lived long enough to know that the majority of life is a struggle than it is a joy, you know, and it's the way we look at life. And don't let it be a struggle, you know, and the things that finally in life, just let them go, you know, and embrace your faults. And that's what I've done, you know, and it still bothers me. But I think that, and I'm creeping up above. Talked to a sweet girl today. Jen's here, and Kenzie's here. She was in the military. I love talking to her. So I've got to meet some really sweet people in this industry, and it's been good. And I want them to know that I'm just the same way you are. Roma, wow, what a trooper to drive all the way from San Diego to Tennessee. Never know me or any of the people here. She's in a field right now, all by herself with her dog, and she has not a clue where she's at, all right? And she's sleeping out there, and that's awesome. I'm going to go check on her, you know? I will give that attention to anybody that comes here. I'll give that attention to anybody that fills up in that field right there, all right? So I want to tell you thank you for tuning in. This is a heartfelt saying thank you, and I'm sorry for, you know, any imperfections that I have that's affected you or anybody out there, all right? And really, there's no direct story. I'm just feeling this, that just wanted to tell you tonight. I love having fun. God, I like doing crazy stuff, and I'm hoping. And you know, we were doing some skits and we were doing a lot of things, and I think the Jamboree is this pinnacle. It's come to there's going to be a turning point after the Jamboree. Yeah, I call it a Jamboree. Call it a festival. That company says I can't call it a Jamboree. A Marie Jam. It's Tennessee Jam, and I don't care what you call it. Just come and hang out with us at this festival we're having at the Tennessee Jam. Okay, so but it's going to be a pinnacle point. And Saturday night is a freedom fire that we're going to have, and the freedom fire is just about what I'm talking tonight. A freedom is we're going to put everything in our past on that big bonfire, and we're going to burn it. It's a symbolization of things. May or may not feel anything different, but it sure be cool to be everybody. I want as many people as I can get on Saturday night for all of us just to be together, right? And burn this stuff down and say goodbye to things and say hello. It's almost like the New Year's, you know, bringing in the new year, but this is a fall, and it's just a beautiful time in Tennessee, all right? So I don't really know where to stop this. I want to say thank you for everybody that came in, everybody's been here, that's visited me, and have just sent me letters. And thank you. It really does mean a lot, you know. And you guys know where I've come from. I'm not against making lots of money. I'm not against not having anything. I'm not against any of this stuff. I'm in business, but I want to do it right. I was telling, was it Roma today? I was thinking, listen, Roma, look here, look, I got this. This was my other guest. I didn't get to show my other guest. Oh. I said, you know what? What better business plan can you have where I can make a living, the customer feels like they got a deal, right? And their mortgage or their payments are so comfortable that they can live with. And what do they have? they have freedom. And our slogan is, choose tiny, live free. And that's exactly what it is. You know, we've just evolved into this stuff. You know, I started this because I wanted to make money. I needed groceries. I needed a job. And I've gotten into it. And I've always been a super people person. I love meeting people at my resort we used to have, and it was just guests constantly, you know. So this has turned into that same thing, but either it's times 10, all right? So thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed night, good night. Karma, Shangawanga, whatever it is. Hey, Sankiara, it's awesome. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. I'll be back Wednesday for our technical night. And then as we get going, we got 3 big weeks. We got the workshop coming tomorrow evening. The girls, we got 3 ladies coming in with their volunteers. They're all flying in. Some are flying in from Seattle, Oregon, just to be here. If you want to volunteer, we got a couple more volunteers coming in the middle of the week. Come in here, all right? You can see me wake up in the morning when I got a cone head. In the morning, I got a Smurf. That's what my hair looks like when I wake up in the morning. Yeah, and it's got big bags on my eyes and everything. But anyway, come here and be a part of what we're doing, enjoy stuff, and I guarantee you, if I do this homeless thing down in Atlanta, I'm going to take everybody out there that has no skill whatsoever, and we're going to build a house with the volunteers that are there. Isn't that going to be cool? All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry if I offended anybody, or if it was too boring, you could have turned me off, which you probably already have. Have a great night. Thank you so much, and I'll bring you back tomorrow night. We'll start off our workshop, and you'll get to meet all the ladies and all the people involved in their workshop, and you'll get to see their homes, what their dream is going to be, and continue the week to see next Sunday that they leave out of here with their tiny house. Have a good night.